Welcome to the Depression Session podcast. Very abrupt start, but we were talking about things beforehand that probably should be included, so here we are. Today is just me, Weedman, and Pool Boy. Rolf is not with us today, currently.
Sucks to be in.
Yes, trust me.
No.
Trust me, that man.
Oh.
That man knows how to do things with a wiener.
Okay.
I'm joking. We're back on the bed again today.
Mm-hmm.
Just two men on the bed today.
We have no idea what to talk about.
Well, I was just waiting for you to say something because it looked like you had something to say.
No, I was trying to think of something.
Oh. Well, how's your week been?
My week has been good.
Okay.
Had its ups and downs.
Now remember, this is going to go out probably in January, so how's the first week of January going for you?
First week of January, it's going terrible.
Have some more optimism than that.
Nah. Ooh, I'm thinking about what is going to be happening in January.
Yeah, what's gonna be happening at the start of the year? That totally is going on right now when this episode released.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
It's not middle of December.
No,
not at all.
no.
Not at all. But
We're not pre-recording these.
No,
Not at
God.
all.
Why would we
No.
do that?
Horrible idea.
No, but what do you got going on at the start of the year? What's gonna be your big goal for 2023?
Focus on the gym a lot more.
Okay.
And then focus on studying a lot more.
Okay.
And then beat Elden Ring a second time.
Okay. You got gym, school, and Elden Ring.
Yes.
You're a man that knows what he wants.
Or, I don't know. I got a lot of it. I got a lot of games I gotta beat.
Like
Ooh.
what?
I wanted to continue playing Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Oh, I heard that was a good one.
I wanted to continue, of course, Elden Ring.
Okay.
I gotta really sink my teeth into Overwatch 2.
Yes, you do. Play with me and Rolf.
But of course. There are a few others that I can't think of right now.
That's fair. What? What's up?
Okay. Have you ever heard of Divinity Original Sin 2?
Yes.
Have you played it?
No.
Are you interested? Do you like turn-based games?
Alright.
Do you like Do you like just like strategy games in general?
Well, what kind of strategy games?
Like D&D.
Oh, yeah, alright. I like them. See, I like them. I typically just don't play them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I like them and they're fun. It's just typically not the games I play.
Mm-hmm. Fair
basically.
enough.
Why? What's your thought?
Oh, that game's a banger.
Is it?
Do you know about Baldur's Gate 3 coming out, right?
Baldur's Gate. I've heard that name before. Yes.
There was the same company who made that game. And I've been wanting. Listen. This game, Divinity Original Sin 2, I have owned for years.
Really?
But I've never gotten past the first chapter of the game.
Why?
Because timing. Okay. First time it's because I lost my save data.
Okay.
And at that point I already spent 10 hours in the tutorial area.
How do you spend 10 hours on a tutorial?
It's the tutorial
Jesus.
of this game.
Really?
In the beginning of the game, you're stuck on an island.
Oh, goddamn.
And you're trying to get out of there.
Okay.
And I was never able to leave the island.
Jesus.
Mainly because I was walking around doing a whole bunch of side quests.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
That game is so much... For what I've played and from what I've seen, it looks so much fun. Why are you so far away?
Because I'm trying to think if the computer being so close to the microphone is making the fan sound pick up. Keep them entertained for me for a few minutes.
You got it.
Keep talking about Divinity. I'm genuinely curious.
But listen, alright, so just like any other RPG, you got your... Well, actually, there isn't even classes.
Really?
There's more just like schools of spells, like fire, water, and you could just pick and choose. I want that spell.
Damn.
And that's how you kind of build your character.
Okay.
So you can like choose them all, like, 10 different schools of magic.
Yeah.
And it's not even magic. Some of it's like just like it's like a magic skill for like fighting,
Okay.
where it just gives you like basic like fighters, but would be spells, but
Yeah.
just fighter abilities.
Yeah.
But you can also dip into like in the sense that like Skyrim, there's no really classes, just abilities you can pick up.
That is fair. That
So
is
it's like
fair.
that. And also in this game, it's co-op. It's up to 4 players.
Damn, really?
Yeah, the whole game through and through.
How long is the game? Really?
from what I heard.
Compared to Elden Ring.
I mean, technically, with Elden Ring, you can beat it in like 30, 20 hours.
Damn.
But there's like 60 hours worth of side quest stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then, depending if you're good or not, you could be spending like 8 hours fighting one boss.
Fuck. Jesus.
Yeah.
8 hours on one boss.
Some people. Like, I watched this one streamer who, first time, like, From Software player,
Yeah.
fought the first boss for 4 hours straight on his
Oh.
Twitch stream.
Oh, that poor man.
Yeah, poor chat.
Why poor chat?
Because they had to sit through that, just watching him play for 4 hours, the same boss that you can completely walk by.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can't you just can you beat him when you very first meet him, or do you have to come back to him?
You can literally walk by him.
Well, yeah, but can you beat him the first time you see him, or
Yeah.
do you have to come back
That's
to him?
what he did. In 4 hours, he managed to beat him.
Damn.
But I some people have done it in less, like an hour
First
or 30
try.
minutes.
Or first try.
Or first try. I mean, eventually, if you get good enough at the game, you can do a first try.
Yeah, because
Easy.
you just don't get hit by anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with Divinity, I mean, of course, there are a bunch of side quests.
Yeah.
And there are... I don't know how long the main quest is. I'm assuming 40, 60. But easily,
Probably.
I can imagine you sinking into at least 100 hours.
Jesus.
I mean, that's what for every RPG. Every RPG, assume it's going to be 100 hours.
Yeah.
That's what it was for me with Fallout, for Skyrim, for Elden Ring. 200 hours for Elden Ring.
Jesus. Yeah, I think the longest game I ever played was Final Fantasy VII, the original. I played the original one of that game. First, I played it on PlayStation 2, the actual like PS1 version. They can hear me from over here. You know that, right?
I guess. But wouldn't you want to be like... When you can literally sit right next to it.
Okay, fine. Jesus.
I don't know.
Y'all see how Pool Boy treats me?
Bruh, I clean your pools for free.
And I give you weed for free.
This is true.
You clean my pool, I give you weed. That's how this works.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. Pool Boy's clean and straight. I meant like, what is it? Straight edge? Clean edge? Straight edge?
I have no idea.
When
I
they
don't
say-
do drugs.
Well, that's what I think it's like straight edge. You call someone straight edge when they don't do anything.
Straight like an arrow.
Something like that. Well, that's more sexuality, but when you call someone straight edge, it's like saying they don't drink, they don't smoke, they're straight edge. You know what I mean? They don't do anything.
Fair enough.
Something like that. Anyway, I played Final Fantasy VII on the PS2, the PS1 version of it when there's 3 discs.
Mm-hmm.
I played that with my older brother. We got all the way to the final battle and could never beat Sephiroth. And then later in high school, I played it. And my god, I had a problem with that game. I had a fucking problem with that game. I think I'd play it like 2 or 3 hours every day until I beat it.
Oh.
There was like a 2-hour cutscene in the original one.
Really?
It's like an hour or 2-hour cutscene, yeah.
How and why?
I was loving it. It might have not been 2 hours, but my play session was like 2.5 hours that time from that one goddamn cutscene. I think it's when you go from the end. It's either when you go from the end of chapter 1 to chapter 2, or from the end of chapter 3 to chapter or end of chapter 2 to chapter 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those in between, fucking long ass cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Finally beat it that time though. Actually, it wasn't as hard as I remembered it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it only took me like 4 or 5 tries,
Mm-hmm.
and then I managed to beat it.
I ever played the new Final Fantasy VII, the
I
remake.
I started it, and I played it a couple hours, but I just kind of lost interest in it. Well, I just slowly stopped playing it.
Mm-hmm.
I know I got to the church where you see Aerith, and then I got a little bit past that,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think I ever made it. Well, you never leave Midgar in that one, but I keep wanting to play it. I never get around to it.
Mm-hmm.
Too busy with other things. Too busy with other things like making content in this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really kind of working my ass off with this podcast. How are you feeling about the podcast?
I'm loving it.
Nice. What is one thing you think could be better about the podcast?
Better about the podcast.
Yeah, what do you think we could be doing better?
I don't. Give me a second.
Okay, well, what's one thing you would like to implement then?
implement?
Yeah.
Bitches.
I am trying. Why do you think I'm working my ass off in the gym so much?
I know something. Better gameplay from a professional.
I never.
That Valorant gameplay, man.
Why do you think I switched to Fallout 4? Did you watch the Fallout 4 gameplay from the last one? Like, at all?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
I think the first half I did, and then I kind of stopped paying attention.
That's fair. I mean, the main meat of the videos are the podcast,
Yeah.
actual speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I put the Fallout 4 gameplay there so it gives the watcher something else to follow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's another form of stimulus to keep them engaged,
Mm-hmm.
basically. Because you can listen to the podcast and also be involved in the quest I'm doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I try to start it where I start the video by starting a quest,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just do that quest for an hour straight.
Yeah.
And then wherever I end up is where I end up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like with the last one, I started with a Brotherhood of Steel mission. The very first one where you go to that rocket thing where you find the junk jet.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended in Vault 118 or Vault 8 or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I started just so it gives the viewer something to be a little bit more engaged in the video and keep a little bit more attention. Hopefully.
Right.
Because YouTube is all about retention.
Mm-hmm.
You know about retention and video time and all that.
Sure.
You know how all that works.
Mm-hmm.
I can explain it if you want, but
Don't. Not for the podcast.
Wait, what's that not interesting?
I don't know. We're here to talk about depression.
This is my depression. That's how my depression manifests itself.
Oh, how? Just by endlessly talking about details that no one wants to listen to?
You've been friends with me long enough to know that.
This is fair.
Yeah. You know I just ramble on about shit that I think is mildly interesting that I hope sticks in conversation.
It
You know?
does. Just not... I don't know. Do you want to listen to this, Mr. Podcaster? Mrs. Podcaster? I don't know. I don't care. We will say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is with podcasts, they don't have to be one specific thing every single time because that gets repetitive.
This is fair.
And if you talk about different things, it could bring in different audiences.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I talk about YouTube and retention and algorithms and all of that, someone who's into that could listen to that and like, oh, these guys are kind of cool, and then listen to our other stuff
This
that
is
they
true.
wouldn't have otherwise.
Oh, the ignorance of me. I apologize.
Good.
Yeah.
You should. You should be sorry.
Here, but actually, you know what? I kind of, if you don't mind me taking control.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask, because Weed Man to the podcasters, to the podcast viewers, Weed Man is the mind behind everything. We're talking through his microphone that he owns, through his hardware that he owns. And I was gonna say I own the place that we do the podcast in, but we've been doing it wherever we want at this point.
Yeah, we've literally done it in my car one time.
Yeah, in the car in the parking lot.
In my car in the parking lot, but yeah.
Yeah, in your. Did I say my car?
No, you said mine. No, you just said in the car.
Okay, in your car.
Yeah.
So I want to ask. You know, I'm gonna make this an interview. I'm
Oh.
gonna make this an interview of the brain.
Okay, I'm down for this.
All right, Mr. Weed Man.
Yes.
Why did you want to start the podcast in the first place?
Bitches.
This is fair.
No, how long of an answer do you want? I mean, we have a fucking hour.
The
So
true answer. Give me the whole answer.
the whole answer. Okay, so the whole answer. So how this thing started, right? Me and Rolf, back when we first started, kind of like really becoming friends.
Mhm.
We've been friends for a while, but this is when we like really started to become friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were so back then. Honestly, me and him would just drive around at night.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would drive him to things, right? Or he would drive me to things, you know, kind of back and forth. But so we'd be in my car, and I'd go to drop him off at home, and I would drive to his house, and then I'd just keep driving. I would just keep driving. I'd make a left, another left, another left, and another left, and we ended up back at his house. So we were just going around in circles in his neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And we would do that for like an hour and just talk. And we would talk about life and stuff, and then we just kind of jokingly mention. I forget if I jokingly mentioned it or he jokingly mentioned it. I don't remember. But that's kind of how we came up with the idea for the podcast. And then we just never fucking did anything with it for years.
Yeah.
And then one day...
Yeah.
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 And then one day, I think it was all three of us that were together when we first...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all three of us are together, and one of us, I don't really remember who, just kind of pitched it out. And we were like, yeah, that sounds really fun.
I think it was either you or me. I think it was you.
It probably was.
Yeah, it probably was you.
It
was you. It was you.
It probably was. And then we just kind of pitched it, and then we all kind of half-heartedly said, yeah. And then I really got to thinking about it. And then I got really thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? I think that might work. You know? Because even if no one fucking listens to this, at least it gives us three an opportunity to not only spend time together, but to have conversations, to talk about stuff that we otherwise wouldn't talk about each other. We really grow. We grow all three of our relationships together, and we also grow personally. Because when you talk about things, just having conversations with people, that's how you grow, that's how you learn, that's how you really develop yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I kind of wanted to get this platform, or this idea, or this concept where we could just come together and talk about whatever. You know, obviously we initially set out the goal of, oh, this would be about depression, anxiety, loneliness, mental health, and stuff like that. And by now it's just kind of turned into this more free-form thing that we just kind of talk about whatever.
Just dudes being dudes.
Basically.
Just a bunch of guys being dudes. Nothing better than this.
Just a bunch of men being gay.
Truly.
Yeah.
Is this our first podcast where we haven't started talking about sex or porn immediately?
Yes. I think except for the one I did with Fat Man. I think that one we didn't get. I don't think we got into that at all. Yeah, we did a little bit. We talked about Emma Watson for a little bit. But other than that, we really just kept it to food, weed. We talked about animators for a little bit and how they get underpaid. I know you haven't seen that one yet because it hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
But yeah. But that's basically how this whole thing kind of started. And then I forget what was the original question.
Why did you start the podcast?
Why did I start? Okay, that's basically how it started.
Yeah, that's how it started.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the full answer. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. It's kind of a long answer for a short question.
Fair enough. No, that's how it always is.
Fair. Yeah.
Passions start up the simplest of starts.
Yeah.
But yet are very meaningful.
Okay. Well, next on the interview.
This is true. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself in bread making?
Bread making. I mean, that depends. What kind of bread?
Cheese bread.
Cheese bread?
Is that even a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Cheese bread, yeah. Well, I mean, cheese bread is basically just white bread that you melt cheese on top of. That's all it is. And I can make white bread. So, I just make a white bread, I just slap some fucking cheddar jack on it, and toss that bitch in the oven, and I got cheese bread.
You gotta make me some cheese bread.
I lied. I don't know how to make bread.
Oh my gosh.
No, I can't. I know how to, I've never done it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I know I could do it. If you give me a recipe, I know full well I can make some form of bread. I've never done it. So. But that is all cheese bread is. It's just like white bread or typically some kind of light bread that you throw cheese. You could throw jalapenos on it too, some Italian herbs.
Woo!
Yeah. There might be butter. I don't know.
Ooh.
Honestly, like a good Italian roll with butter, cheese, Italian herbs, and jalapenos. That sounds pretty good.
That does sound pretty
Want to go to the store?
good. What else could I ask? Let's see.
I mean, you could ask me literally anything. I'm an open book right now. Looks like you have something.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how long do you last when you jack off?
Well, that depends. Like, it honestly depends. It's however long I choose, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, if I want to sit there and enjoy it, 30 minutes.
Fair enough.
But if I just want to get in and out, 30 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, it depends. I get to choose. And, like, that one session I had with that one person, that was, like, a little over an hour. Yeah. So.
Why did I ask this question? I'm so sorry.
Why are you sorry?
I don't know.
How about you, pool boy?
How long do I last?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have the mental aptitude to just say, I'm going to last as long as I want.
Really?
No.
Well, it's not that I sit there and be like, I'm going to last this X amount of time. It's just, instead of going for the nut, going in and doing it for the nut, I go in and do it for doing it. You know what I mean? I sit there and be like, this is nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just instead of focusing on the end, I just focus on the journey. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just chill a little bit.
I focus on the end too much.
Yeah, I used to do that exact same thing in high school. That's all I would fucking do. That's all I would focus on. But now that I'm a little bit older and I'm trying to like fix my sexual habits, basically,
Right.
I'm trying to focus more on like enjoying the actual process of it instead of just the end. It's kind of the same thing with life too.
Fair enough.
Never focus on the end goal, focus on the journey. But
Wow. So wise.
nah, nah.
What do you mean, nah?
You think I'm really? You actually think I'm wise?
In some parts, yeah.
Fair. I try.
I mean, sure, you were listening to that one guy, the old man.
Oh,
You've certainly picked up a few things, haven't you? What did you say?
Ranger Creek training or some shit.
Yeah.
Dwayne.
Yeah, Mr.
Arthur Morgan.
Arthur Morgan, Dwayne,
Yeah.
The Rock.
I was listening to a cowboy version of Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Wow. What a vibe that would be. You listen to Andrew Tate.
Yes,
Surely-
that makes me wise.
Surely you have become the wisest man amongst us all.
Like, actually, genuinely, would you say I'm a wise person? Obviously not, like, no one's 100% wise.
This is very true.
But do you think I have at least some capacity to be wise? You can be honest.
I would say you have the ability to be wise,
Okay.
but you're so chill you just decide to just sit around.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Cause, how do I put this? You're so chill you don't care to be wise. You would rather just sit around and just hang out. I don't know. It's because if you don't want to have an opinion on things, you have an opinion on a lot of things. You just don't say it.
Yeah, because most people don't care what the fuck other people think. You know what I mean? It's like, the thing is like, I get what you mean. It's like, yeah, I do kind of have a tendency just to sit there and be passive and go along with things. And it's like, I do get what you mean by you have the ability to be wise. You just kind of choose to be chill and not to. It's just because I kind of feel like other people don't care what I have to say, basically. Because I've kind of gotten to a point where, how do I explain it? So it's like you were saying that I can be wise and I can be the smart person. I'm just too chill not to, right? Is that
Maybe there's a better way of saying it. Let me think.
Yeah, I lost my train of thought. I'm gonna agree with you. I had something and then I lost it. Fuck. I mean, it's like I do, like, don't get me wrong. I do have this like thing in me. That sounds weird.
Maybe it's not that you're wise. It's more that you're surprisingly cautious.
Really?
You know what to do, when to do it, when not to do it.
Really?
You're safe with things.
Yeah.
Coming from the guy who smokes weed every day.
Yeah.
But even then, you're safe with the weed for the most part.
Yeah. It's like I don't drive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't drive. I try to do it the healthiest for my lungs. I try not to overdo it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do it before work.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that.
And things like that, like anything that comes with life, you make sure to. I don't.
Everything's very thought out.
You're wise in the sense that you know how to not cause problems. Not so much wise in the advice giving. Not because you're bad at giving advice. It's just that not often you don't.
Yeah, I just don't really give advice.
But you're wise in the sense that you know what to do.
Fair. Yeah, I know how to do things. I just don't do things. Yeah, I know.
There's also intelligence in that as well.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. I mean, to be honest with you, most of that does come from anxiety. It's like I'm constantly thinking about how things can go wrong and what can go bad and how to prevent it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it's like the whole thing with like this podcast trying to keep our location anonymous, right? In the episode with Fat Man, we talked about favorite fast food chains. Just normal podcast topic. And one of his on the list was one that is only predominantly in this area. So at first in the conversation, I was like, oh, this is fast food. No one's going to figure it out. And then I heard it. I got thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute. I better look up the locations of that place. And there's only 2 locations outside of this area that there is. One's in LA and the other one's in a closer town.
Mm-hmm.
And so I realized if they look that up, they'll see that 6 of them are in this one area. So most of them are going to be there. So I censored that name. That's why it's redacted in the podcast. And it's just little stuff like that. There's the second one that he mentioned. It was still only in Southern California, but it was far enough and spread enough that we could be fucking anywhere in Southern California. Plus, they don't know if we live there or not. They don't know where he lives. I don't know where he lives. I don't know where he lives. He just shows up on my porch every now and again. No, not really. But I do get that. I really kind of have a tendency to overthink things and overanalyze things. That's why I'm very cautious about shit. And in terms of like the advice stuff, it's like I do have a lot of advice. I just don't give it because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in life. You know what I mean? I have no clue what the hell I'm doing. And I don't really know how to be happy, how to be content, how to do stuff like that. And so I don't want to say something that I think is right and works for me for other people, and it turns out it makes them worse. You know what I mean? That's why I typically don't give advice.
Right.
I'm trying to be better about it, but I don't really do that because I don't want to make them worse. Because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, basically.
Give me some advice right now. How do I make bread? No. I don't care. Wait, let me think of actually good advice you can give me.
Yeah, what's one question about life, work, content creation, gym, whatever? What's one question that you have that you think I could be good at answering? It could be about anything. Keep in mind, I've studied psychology for a while just because of my anxiety.
Really?
I told you about that, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, in junior high, I was so inept with women that for like 2 or 3 years straight, the majority of my time was spent researching how to figure out if someone liked you.
You know what I did on what, YouTube videos?
YouTube videos, internet, edu.gov, fucking anywhere online I could find resources on how to tell if a woman liked me.
In that case, let me ask something women related.
No, don't do that. No, I'm terrible with women. But like genuinely, like what's one thing that, I mean, it could be something you're struggling with. It could be, I mean, obviously I'm no psychologist or professional, but different perspectives could help on shit, you know? Or it could be something stupid. It's your call. You know what I mean? I'm no Einstein on shit, so.
Right. If I could ask you one thing of advice, what would it be? It's so hard. Because, you know, there's like 1,000 things on your mind.
Yeah.
When it's finally time to say what it is, you have no idea what to say.
Well, don't think about it. First thing that comes to mind, what do you want to ask me?
Work.
Okay, what about work?
It's becoming mentally tolling on me.
Okay. How come?
The drama.
Okay, that's understandable. Well, there's kind of 2 ways you can go about it. Find another job.
Fair enough.
Or just don't care. If they want to run around and gossip on your name and talk about shit that they're not even involved with, that's on them. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, yeah, not the best situation, obviously, but you've moved on, you've grown, you've learned, you're not going to do it again, and that's all that matters. If they want to be fucking childish and spend their time worrying about what other people do, then are those the people you really want around you? You know, it's like, do you want, like that guy said earlier, do you want people around you that stir the pot? Or do you want to be calm and just choose not to care?
This is fair.
Does that help at all?
It does.
Okay.
I don't know. It's funny because it's like something you would obviously tell yourself. Don't care. Don't listen to them.
Yeah.
But it's nice when someone else tells you it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're not going to listen to yourself. No one listens to themselves. You know? At least I don't. Because everyone has self-doubt.
Yeah,
everyone thinks I'm shit, I'm bad, I'm not smart. But when you hear someone else say it, you think, maybe I'm not so dumb. Maybe I am smart. Maybe I was onto something.
For your own health, I have to tell you, you are indeed dumb.
Thanks, man.
No, I'm sorry.
I really needed that today. Thank you. I was contemplating jumping off a fucking bridge.
You know what? Sometimes the truth is good for people. Genuinely, thank you for helping me out.
Yeah. Do you think I'm dumb?
No.
No, I know.
I was literally just praising you for the past 10 minutes.
I know, I'm fucking with you. I really needed that today. I was on the fence about jumping off a fucking bridge.
My God, good voice acting.
What?
Good voice acting.
Really?
Yeah.
I yell a lot.
You do.
I really fucking do.
You're good at yelling.
There's a lot of times that a lot of my humor is just kind of yelling.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly my own self humor. I'll yell a lot to myself in the car.
I figured. You'd screech yourself like the little dinosaur voice that you got. Ah!
Any other questions for me?
Let's think.
Questions about the podcast, questions about life,
This is true.
women, money. I know some stuff about money.
You
You know?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think I'm stuck on questions.
That's
I think
fair.
I've asked all that I needed to ask us right now.
That's fair. That's fair. And I appreciate you giving me time to speak. I don't get that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I do appreciate that.
But of course.
How about you? How do you feel about your role in the podcast? Like, what do you think your strong suits for the podcast are?
This is true. I've been thinking about it. Like, what does everyone bring to the podcast?
Yeah.
I mean, you bring the productions, and that's all you're good for.
Not conversation.
Not conversation. You're completely unfunny. You should just be kicked out, and we'll just take your stuff. You would understand.
There is no podcast without me. I am the one who podcasts.
And in terms of my role, I'm still trying to figure. I mean, I guess everyone's trying to figure out who they are in the podcast.
Yeah.
Everyone's cracking jokes. Everyone's trying to come up with topics.
It's still a very new thing that needs to be refined.
Oh yeah, we have no experience in the entertainment business. We don't know how to make an entertaining podcast. We're just being friends and seeing if that's good enough.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I have other experience, just not in podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
So podcasting's still a very much new.
I have no experience.
Yeah, I've been trying.
Mm-hmm. Actually, yeah. I forget. You have like YouTube experience / that other website experience.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I have YouTube experience, music experience, Instagram experience, a little bit of live streaming experience, other experience.
And then Rolf, I don't know about him.
He has a lot of photography and cinematography experience. He also has a lot of interpersonal experience. He's really good at talking to people and making people laugh. He's very good at entertaining people.
Mm-hmm. Would you consider Rolf an extrovert or an introvert? I don't know. That's something that's always bothered me about Rolf. Not bothered me, but like confused
Just something
me.
you've never like quite figured out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, I don't know what he feels about it, and he's his own man.
This is true.
But,
unfortunately, he's not here.
Yeah.
Sucks to be him.
I mean, everyone's kind of ambiverted. You know, everyone has extroverted tendencies and introverted tendencies.
This is fair.
Obviously, it's a whole spectrum. Some people fall more on the extroverted side and the more introverted side, but everyone has characteristics of both.
Mm-hmm.
However, for him, I would say he's an introvert that likes to hang out with his friends.
You
know what
that's
I mean?
a good way of putting it.
Yeah, he's an introvert that likes to hang out with his friends. Kind of like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A little bit differently,
Mm-hmm.
but
You can only do it for so long.
yeah, basically,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And then I need to go to my little goblin hole.
This is true. And then some days I just don't want to be around anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, like Sunday, me and him ran into each other, and I was not in the mood. I almost thought of ignoring him
Really?
until he called me, and I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah. No, I feel that. I'm not the exact same way.
Sorry if you heard this, Ralph.
Well, he's probably going to. You didn't mean anything by it, though. Just
No,
one of those days.
Like, literally, I have a tendency, if I, like... like with newer Ralph isn't new,
Yeah.
but like with newer people, like I have one good conversation with them, and then I won't talk to them for like weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I know like one of the guys at the small group that I go with.
Yeah.
You know him. I'm not gonna say his name, just in case. Starts with a G.
Oh yeah.
Like I consider myself good friends with him.
Yeah.
But then there are just time periods where I never want to talk to him, or sometimes don't want to talk to him,
Damn.
just because
You're just not in the mood.
I'm not in the mood.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. Not because I'm not in the mood for him. I'm not in the mood for talking.
Anyone. Yeah. Exactly.
Anyone.
No, I'm exactly that same way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, everyone has extroverted and introverted tendencies. So most people are ambiverts.
Mm-hmm. And then, let's get back on track to the topic of what everyone brings to the podcast.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about
Yeah.
that. I was trying to think, where were we before this?
Mm-hmm. I would say at least my goals for the podcast, I want to make sure it stays on track.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. Like just right now.
That's fair. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Like keep things flowing.
Yeah.
Keep things
Entertaining.
Make sure we're still talking.
Yeah, that's good.
And also making sure everyone is talking.
Yeah, that's good.
Like I know Hallmark.
Yeah, Hallmark.
He, not that he was because it was his first time.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure he was involved.
Yeah,
I don't know if I did a good job.
Yeah. He was pretty well involved.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really get any segments to himself, but
Nah.
a lot of the podcasts, none of us have segments to ourselves.
Nah, yeah.
Unless it's something like this.
Yeah,
where
one-on-one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Well, I would say the second episode where we talked about our high school lives was a pretty good.
yeah, fair. Well, all of us had a segment on that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's fair. That was a good conversation.
It was.
Yeah. So the main thing you're trying to provide for the podcast is consistency, flow, and continuity.
Yeah, and I guess so. Yeah, making sure everyone has a say in it.
That's fair.
Like I'll point someone out. Hey, what do you think about this?
That's good. I'm glad you're that way because that definitely does help.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely does help.
I'll throw in a joke here and there. I'll try. Everyone should try.
You also have some pretty good stories.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is true.
Yeah, you do have some pretty good stories.
Thank you.
You're a fucking weird kid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's true.
Oh, what other stories? I have so many stories I can tell. Oh, all of the bed frames I can talk about.
Bed frame. Oh. Oh my god, that bed frame story. I don't think I'll ever fucking forget that. Should we say it? I mean, I don't think it really matters, right?
No, I'll say it.
That was so fucking long ago.
Because this podcast is at my house right now.
Yeah.
And I brought Weed Man into my bedroom, and in my bed frame, you can see yellowish stains.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the bedpost from the New Year's Eve party.
Oh,
Remember
that wasn't.
story?
No, that wasn't me.
No, I know. I thought you were gonna tell that story.
Oh.
That's why I asked if we should say it because it was someone else.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that part.
Oh no, go on with your stained bed story.
Oh yes. Oh, the horny things I did when I was a child, aka 16 and 17, and 15
and 20
and 20. I should have stopped at 20. I had a fleshlight at that time.
You had a flashlight at what, 18, 19?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
You're welcome.
Yes.
If it wasn't for me, you never would have had one of those.
Yes, but in place of a flashlight, before I could afford it and I can go into a store and buy it, I did the day-old trick of getting a plastic bag with olive oil, and I didn't realize how much of a mess it could be if the oil got out of the bag, and it soiled and stained my bed frame, and it's still there. Yeah, the box springs. And it looks like I peed the bed, which honestly is a good cover story.
Even though there's nothing on the mattress or the comforter or the blankets, it's only on the box spring in two very weird spots.
Listen, man, I don't know.
How did you not get anything on the mattress if it was in between the mattress and the box spring?
I don't know, man. I did get it on the mattress on the top side. On the other side.
Oh, fair, I guess.
Just not the bottom side. How did I get it on the top side?
Wait, the very, very top of the mattress has it?
No.
Oh.
But just going up.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
It makes sense. You're sticking yourself in there. Stuff's squirting out.
That is fair.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's olive oil after all.
Mm-hmm.
It's not extra virgin anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You're reminiscing,
Yeah.
missing your bedussy
Yes.
and your couchussy.
I don't know why, but I got really nostalgic for coconut oil.
For coconut oil?
Yeah, bro. That's. Ooh. I don't know. What am I saying? That shit was good, man.
Coconut oil.
But, bro, genuinely, coconut oil is one of the best things you can use.
Really?
Because, one, it doesn't stain.
Mm.
Two, it's smooth.
Why not just get like normal lube?
Well, I couldn't afford it.
Ah, fair.
It was back when I couldn't.
So where were you getting the coconut oil?
My mom had it in the room. And I would just go in there, like, during when they were at work. I was
Just
like,
take a handful.
yep.
Why am I going through so much coconut oil?
No, I didn't use it too often for that reason.
Oh, okay. But you used it just enough.
Just enough. I think funny enough, I only used it like twice.
Damn.
But it was good.
I know what you're doing.
Because
after this.
coconut oil has like, I can't. It's funny. There are like little bumps in the oil.
Oh, like fibers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's some good texture. That's for sure.
Damn. I'm hard. I'm hard just thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Want me to do something about it?
Maybe. I don't know. What are you willing to do to me? You're gonna put coconut oil on my nuts? Have you seen that TikTok where it's like, ladies, you don't gotta be dealing with all that that all bouncing up and down shit. All you gotta do is sit yourself on him and spell coconut with your hips, and by the time he doesn't spell cocoa, he's gonna nut. Have you seen that video?
I have not.
It's so fucking funny. It's so fucking funny.
You know, sometimes, because I want to re-download TikTok, but I know...
I wouldn't.
I know.
I wouldn't.
Because the problem with me is that...
There's too many women on there.
Too many women, bro. And I know for a fact that I will not be able to stop.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, there's too many beautiful women on that app.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still mad over Oliver Tree and Belle Delphine. That shit happened a month ago, and I'm still mad.
Please, calm down.
Why him? Why not me?
But I miss the memes of TikTok.
Yeah, they were good.
They were good. They started getting good.
Yeah. I don't know. TikTok's kind of weird now. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you get on one side of TikTok and it's hard to get off.
Mm-hmm.
You remember how my feed used to be? How I just could not open it in public because of how many goddamn women were on my feed.
Yeah, I know. If I were to look at my feed right now, it'd be women.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I stopped liking it. I was still getting them. I stopped sending them to my friend. I'm still getting them. And so it's like everything I could possibly do except blocking the accounts, I still get them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't really go on there that much anymore. Because it's like, come on. I got it on my fucking Instagram too now. I don't know what the hell happened,
bro. There was like some kind of like hashtag meme page.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it was an official one, but they would show nude women.
Really?
Like see-through clothes women.
Oh, I remember. I knew an account. I knew an account that was like that.
And I couldn't. I didn't know what to do. I think I finally like reported I reported it because I couldn't. I don't. Could you block pages?
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do that, so I just reported it for nudity. And I stopped getting it.
I mean, probably for the best anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's against TOS and all that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why. It was a meme page. Where were the memes? Why am I sitting titties?
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say, I wanted to see memes, not titties. It's like going to the strip club for a soup, you know?
No.
It's like it's like your wife catches you like, honey, why were you at the strip club? I was going for the clam chowder. I wasn't looking at no women. I was there for the clam chowder. I don't know why I gave it a Boston accent, but I did.
It's a good one.
Yeah, no, my Instagram, like, it was clear. It was fine. It was all memes, all skateboarding, all art. And then one day, it just started to be nothing but women. And it's just unsettling, because I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm trying to be a good person. But Bezos.
Yeah.
No. Fuck. Zuckerberg. I don't know why I thought Jeff Bezos owned Instagram.
Isn't that Mr. Amazon?
Yeah. Mr. Amazon. If he's ever on our podcast, that's what we're calling him, Mr. Amazon. That's his name.
Jeff
Mr.
Bezos? If
Yes.
Jeff Bezos were on our podcast,
Yeah.
is that really what you just said?
Yes,
Oh,
I said
my
that.
Lord.
Dream big, pool boy.
You know what? This is fair. Has he ever been on the podcast?
I don't know. He had to have.
We'll be the first. We'll kidnap him if we have to.
I was going to say break into his house, set up on his kitchen table. He walks in. So, Mr. Amazon, tell us, when was the first time you jacked off? So, Bezos, let me peek at that search history. What do you think is in Jeff Bezos' search history?
He's like a what? Middle-aged man? 40s? 50s? 40s, 50s?
Divorced, too.
Divorced, really?
Yeah. You don't remember?
He's definitely looking at sad cat memes. Definitely.
I bet porn search history.
Well, alright, fine then.
What do you think? What porn do you think Jeff Bezos watches? Cats.
He's definitely into being dominated.
Really?
Definitely.
I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
I really, yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Mm.
I also could see a lot of like rich poor fantasy,
What do you mean?
like rich guy poor girl.
Ah.
I could see that being the case.
Mm-hmm.
He seems egotistical enough.
Schoolgirls. He's into schoolgirls.
Careful now.
Yeah.
We're reaching.
Schoolgirl cosplay.
Okay, there you go. Were you ever into the schoolgirl thing?
Funny enough, recently, yes.
Recently.
I can't look at it, but I was like, ooh.
Well, yeah, because as you stop watching it, you become more sensitive to stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I was never really into it.
Neither was I.
It just felt kind of weird,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I mean, I was into female teacher, male student, but I was never really into like male teacher, female student. It just never really felt right to me. I don't know. It was too played up, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to describe it. I just was never. It's always unsettled me.
My favorite video was when the two guys were in the locker rooms, and he threatened to fight him by sucking his cock.
And then he sucked his cock, and then the teacher came in and did it too.
Mm-hmm.
And then Elon Musk came in.
Yeah.
God, what kind of shit do you think Elon Musk would watch?
Elon Musk.
It has to be like AI and robot shit, right? Like it has to be.
Nah,
That man probably has an AI to write erotic fantasies for him.
Honestly, those were bomb. The AI scripts. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's right. When me, you, and Rolf did that,
Mm-hmm.
that was fucking funny.
There's a website called AI Dungeon.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of meant to be used for like, like actually role playing with the AI.
Yeah.
But it turned out to be a much better use for porn. So they had to like ban porn for a hot minute.
Damn.
Or not even porn. What it was, I don't even know what happened. Oh, because you can like make custom scripts.
Yeah.
And people upload them so you can like try them out. And you use this for a lot of porn. There was one story with a fox girl. Oh my gosh, it was so good. The AI was so well done.
God damn.
She had her personality and everything, and low-key it was kind of scary.
If they rebranded, they could make bank.
They would. But anyways, so they got rid of that whole ability to look up people's stuff, and then they brought it back with new restrictions on the AI. Or because, to be honest, some of it kind of got weird.
Really?
I think because it's AI, technically you can do like necrophilia and child stuff.
Oh, yeah, it had no morals.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
So I think they had to like fix that, and it took them a hot minute to fix. It was like half a year that whole thing was down.
Jesus.
But they brought it back a while back. But I got lost interest in it. I'd be totally on to try it again. Maybe not like the porn stuff. Maybe.
I was gonna say. I mean, you just said I'd totally be down to relapse again.
I mean, with you boys.
I know.
I want to make my own story. You know what's funny? There's actually a co-op version of it where like multiple people can like through different like phones or computers. I don't know.
There's multiple people can make an AI generated sex story.
Okay, those are fun just to see what the AI can
doing
come
that
up with.
your partner.
Oh,
Like you two co-op on an erotic novel made by an AI. That'd be kind of hot.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same line of you guys both having a Pornhub account and sharing your guys' watch history. Have you never thought about doing that?
No, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be comfortable watching porn with my girlfriend.
I mean, that's fair. Current one or in total? No, I'm joking.
Ever, yeah.
No, I mean, it's not the worst thing.
I don't know, but if it turns out the guy has a bigger cock than me, I'm gonna feel a little insecure.
She comments on it. Damn, babe, look at that thing.
Yeah.
I said, this is a stupid idea. I'm going to bed. No, babe, yours is perfect. What do you mean? The bigger ones hurt me. What? No, your size is perfect. The big ones hurt, so you mean it's not big.
How do you know it hurts?
What? Liar!
How much time do we got left?
I don't even know.
What?
I have
We
no-
haven't been keeping track.
No, not at all. We only have about 15 minutes.
Oh, nice.
It's already been going on for like 45 minutes.
Okay.
So what, I've been wanting to ask you and Rolf this. What do you guys, like, what are your goals / what do you envision for this podcast?
Ooh,
Like, when you think about it, like, where could you see this going, or how would you want it to go? Or if it can go any way you want it to go, how would you want it to go? And if you want, I can give my answer first. You can kind of brainstorm stuff, but that's up to you.
You give me your answer first.
Okay, so I have a couple different answers.
Fair enough.
My first one is just basically what it is now. It's just this fun little side project I do with my friends just to fuck around and have a good time and all of that. I could also see it becoming an actual thing. We, when me and Rolf move out, whenever that'll be, we get like a proper desk and like microphones and stuff for people. And it becomes like a more professional thing. I would like that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very extreme end, I've seen this little podcast becoming this like media company, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so it's like there's me, there's you, and there's Rolf, right? I see this podcast as like the thing that brings us all together, but then each of us has our own little side projects. I have my Weedman YouTube channel. You could have streaming. Rolf could have, whatever it is he chooses.
Mm-hmm.
So we each have our own little thing, but it's all done under this one brand of Depression Session or whatever the company is.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually after that, we get more people on, then we can get bigger and bigger projects. And by the end of it, it's essentially just a fucking media company that all started from a goddamn podcast.
Question.
Yes.
If it got that big, would we still keep our identities a secret?
Who knows? I haven't really. I don't think about it too much because obviously that's like very, very grandiose and kind of delusional as well.
Fair enough.
I'll admit that that's really fucking delusional. But that's just how I look at things. I look at what things can become and how they can become it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, yeah, I'd love to turn this one fucking microphone into an entire goddamn media company.
Mm-hmm.
But more realistically, fuck around with friends and just talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But if I could put in a lot of work to make that media company happen, why not try?
I wonder. You know what's funny? TikTok probably would get us more popular.
Oh yeah, no, for sure it would. It would. And I do plan on doing that at some point.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I'm kind of trying to wait and have the format be a little bit more refined.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Fair
what I mean?
enough.
Because we do have some funny clips now, but it's not really consistent enough to be able to post on TikTok enough to get into the algorithm.
Yeah.
We usually gotta post multiple times a day on TikTok. That's just how the content is over there with the short form. You gotta post an absurd amount.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm kind of trying to wait until this shit gets more refined and more on a schedule before I bring something else on.
Right.
Because right now I'm still kind of having a hard time balancing recording, editing, work, uploading, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm trying not to do too many things at once. So I'd rather wait until the recording, the editing, and all that gets a little bit more refined before I move on to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I will probably be doing that probably first of the year. If I I do hope to have the TikTok launched by the first of the year, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or at least start thinking that way.
And then, I guess I have the same visions as you.
Yeah.
Like, I have no expectations of this popping off with viewership.
Yeah.
But if it does...
Yeah. It's like you're grounded, but at the same time you're like, what if?
What if? The internet is a very strange place, and it likes what it likes.
Yeah.
Who knows if it'll like us?
Yeah, and if you want something, you might as well fucking try and go for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so it's like I really see it as a brand that we can build.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's what it is. I just see the Depression Session as a brand that all three of us can build together and elevate to Tate levels.
How the freak did Andrew Tate become as popular as he did?
So basically what he did, right, is obviously he was a world championship kickboxer. He was on a couple TV shows in his early 20s, him and his brother. That's not really made him big. And then he made a webcam service, a webcam site, and that's how he first made his millions. Because after he did kickboxing, he had something happened with one of his eyes, so he couldn't fight anymore. So he had money from that, and he figured, what could I do? So he basically built this webcam service, or a webcam site, that he built into an empire, and that's how he first made his millions, and he went into casinos and investments and a bunch of shit.
Really?
But the way he got famous is he has a podcast.
Yeah.
He has a podcast, but basically he made this character, because obviously this Andrew Tate is a person, then he emulsifies and exemplifies it on his podcast, and he basically just said a bunch of outrageous shit to get people talking about him, and that's basically how. So he basically just said a bunch of outlandish, outrageous shit to get people talking about him and sharing him and all that.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's like he'd purposely say stuff that he knew people would get mad and offended at, so they would spread it around.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I want to be Andrew Tate one day.
Who doesn't? Who fucking doesn't? God, who doesn't?
Hey, question. If we get famous, can I have all the shareholders?
You could have one share for every video you edit.
Guess I'm going to programming school.
But does that seem really outlandish and kind of delusional to see this as a big brand that we could build into this massive thing?
No.
Okay.
Why not?
That's just how I look at things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm at a point in my life where I really want to start working towards things and working on things and making content, because I love content creation.
Mm-hmm.
It's my passion. You know what I mean? And so it's like, if I could just spend all day every day doing that, I would. Mm-hmm. Even if I never got rich from it, I'd still fucking do it. You good?
I had a question. I was about to start talking, and all of a sudden, a ghost started choking me out. But you know what's funny? We have already 25 views on our first video.
Yeah, Rolf shared it to a bunch of his friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it all friends, or just is there a chance that it could have been one random person?
Well, there probably could have been one random person. You can't really tell.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing.
This is fair.
So, I mean, content creation takes fucking years.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be doing this for a long while before we get any sort of genuine traction.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm willing to put in the work and commit to it if you guys are.
Mm-hmm. I am. Too bad I'm going to be gone for a while.
Or you could just not go. You could just not.
Listen, if the podcast pops off
In a couple months.
in a couple months, then I won't go to the military.
How old are you? 21?
21.
You could go at 23 and still be fine, right?
I'm going to the military this year.
I know, I'm messing with you. That's just how I look at things. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
I know you really want to go in the military, and the military is going to be very good for you. So I want you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I love the man.
What?
I hear that I love the man.
Well, podcast viewers, we're going to end it here so we can go get some elote. Because this man can hear him from down the fucking road. You excited for the military, though?
I am.
Okay, that's good.
Mm-hmm. You know what I worry?
What?
If our podcast pops off,
Mm-hmm.
we've talked about a lot of things.
Okay.
No, it doesn't even matter. But I was gonna say, what happens if people recognize our voices, who know us? Like, yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter.
Hey, you guys have that really cool podcast I like listening to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If we get to that point where they're recognizing our voices, then we have some level of fame where it's like, I love this thing that you do.
Fair enough. What you know about my drama?
Okay.
I don't know.
Again,
Paranoia.
Like I said, now you know.
What do you mean? Now I know.
Now you know.
Fair enough.
Like I said earlier about how I overthink things and I try to mitigate as much problems as I can.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Alright, well, it's been going on for about an hour. Maybe a little bit more, to be honest. I don't really exactly know.
Do you want to make this a 2-hour special?
Don't you gotta leave in like half an hour?
I don't know. I'll need to text my sister.
Fair.
We'll see what happens. But anyway,
Alright,
I
well,
want to leave the podcast.
well, we still gotta do our closing stuff. You know how at the end I like to ask people, you know, any questions, comments, or concerns. How did you think this episode went?
Sorry.
How did you think this episode went?
I think it went swell.
Really?
Very different format.
Yeah, 'cause it's just us two.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a lot more deeper, a lot more intimate.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, intimate.
I'm just saying. What was your favorite part of this episode?
Talking about the podcast itself.
That's
like
fair.
the reasonings behind it.
Yeah.
And what the roles of everyone. Which we didn't even talk about the roles of everyone else.
I mean, not everyone's gonna have to have a role.
This is fair.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
just guys.
Yeah.
Our roles is be funny, talk about podcast things, laugh.
Yes, sir. There's me at home. Edit, upload.
This is fair. Maybe one day if it becomes big enough, you won't be the only editor.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking eventually we could get up to 2 videos a week instead of just 1.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just for that, I'd like to be able to record at least twice a week.
Mm-hmm.
Just so that way we're not, you know, going through so much catalog. Because recording once a week for one video a week is totally fine. But if you do 2, you need to record at least twice a week for that. And I was even thinking about it. We could do 1 on Monday and 1 on Friday, right? The 1 on Monday could be like a sort of like a Monday motivational thing. Like we talk more about like money, business, health, stuff like that. Just like a beginning of the week, like what are our goals this week, sort of shit. And the Friday one could be like an after hours, just, you know, a more chill, hanging out kind of thing.
Interesting.
Obviously, the Monday would still be chill and joking and all that sort of stuff, but it'd be more structured towards beginning of the week shit.
Man, the podcast in the car was all over the place.
Yeah, it really fucking was. It really goddamn was.
Just call that episode Car Chaos.
Car coming. Damn. That was fun, though.
Mm-hmm.
Just chilling in my car, having a microphone hung from the sunroof.
Surprisingly not freezing because of everyone in there.
Yeah. I had a hard time driving home because of how fogged up my windows were. I'm not even going to lie to you. I tried wiping it off. It just didn't go away. I had to roll down my window and look out of it.
But at least you were warm.
Oh, yeah. Well, any closing remarks for you, pool boy?
Eat ass, smoke grass, sled fast.
That's what I was going to say.
Don't forget to clean that spot in the pool. You know what? I feel like we all have to come up with a catchphrase.
Really?
Yes, something related to our names. Rolf can say something in German.
I held myself back from a joke so goddamn hard I broke a curtain rod. I was struggling to hold that in. I was thinking I could say this right now and edit it out and get away completely scot-free. But I was like, oh no, I don't want to end up like Kanye. What would your catchphrase be?
I don't know.
You need your pool cleaned, ma'am.
Yeah. You need your pool clean, ma'am.
It's gonna cost you extra.
I don't know. We'll figure out catchphrases.
Yeah.
But what do we always say at the end of every session that we haven't said at every end of the session?
And remember that just like this podcast, depression is just a session and it too shall pass.
Yay!
Alright, well, I think that'll do it for this episode. Tune in every Monday at 12 p.m. on our YouTube channel. TikTok's coming soon. Check out my actual Weedman channel. I'm going to have some pretty funny videos coming soon. I have some goddamn ideas that I'm going to be doing.
Will it be funny?
Yes.
Will it be funny?
Do you want a sneak peek?
Will it?
Do you want a sneak peek of one of the video ideas?
No.
Okay.
And don't... Never mind. You know what? No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be shameless. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment at the bottom of the video.
Fucking shameless.
Shameless. I am full of shame, but we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah, no, really
Don't forget to share this on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, if you have any friends you think this would if you have any friends you think would like this sort of shit, please, for the love of God,
Send it to your mothers and fathers,
well, maybe not that.
your bosses, your coworkers.
I don't want to get anyone an HR claim or pool boy. What?
I'm trying to think of a podcast. Of a podcast. I'm trying to think of a catchphrase.
All right, well, that's gonna do it for this episode, and so you guys have a good one. I'll see you next Monday at 12.
Bye-bye. Mwah.
Is there anything else you want recorded before I stop it?
Oh!
I'm gonna enjoy that later.